All right. Hey, everyone. Really glad to see you. I hope Singapore is treating you well. I know it's not the coldest city, right? We feel the heat. And over here, I would like to first thank you a lot to Lucas and the whole RWA crew. They've done a fantastic job organizing this event. So also give them a round of applause, please. I'm Marcin, co-founder of RedStone. We are the fastest growing and second biggest oracle in the world right now. All right, we protect $10 billion value on chain with over 110 blockchains and protect 180 plus clients. Recently, DeFi Llama Research created a report about RedStone, the products that we offer, and essentially like what we are doing. I highly recommend like going over. And today I will talk a little bit about the convergence of RWA and DeFi. But let me start with a question. Who knows that gentleman? Raise your hand. Okay, it's Paul Reuter, who in 1851, with 45 pigeons, brought stock prices from Brussels to Aachen, 120 kilometers, and he got 2 hours advantage and was able to front run all the other traders. That advantage created one of the biggest information empire that we know nowadays, right? Reuters. In this day and age, we don't fight about hours. We are talking about milliseconds or even nanoseconds, which is 1 billion nanoseconds is 1 second. So it's truly outside of the comprehension of human brain to understand how quickly those systems work. And with RWAs being brought on chain, we need to match that speed and understand what TradFi people actually would like to see in the blockchain environment. Therefore, with Gauntlet and RWA XYZ, we created the most comprehensive real-world assets in on-chain finance report. You can scan the QR code if you want to check it out. It's over 60 pages. It's heavy, but it's a lot of alpha in there. If you're missing some of the fundamentals about RWA and DeFi, this is where you can get it. It's 2 months of research, over 100 RWA projects analyzed. We did interview and got quotes from Canton Network, Etherealize, Securitize, DTCC. So those are like absolutely heavy hitters. And the future is tokenization. It can bring $30 trillion on chain. The key takeaways from the report are that RWA tokenization exploded from $5 billion to $32 billion this year. It's over 500% growth 2 years. And it's the second fastest growing sector after stablecoins that reach 300 billion in a moment. It's 299 when I was checking today. So it's literally around the horizon. Projections suggest that between 10 to 30% of global assets could be tokenized by 2030 or 2034. Tokenization could bring 400 trillion with T in assets from TradFi to blockchain. And to give you perspective, it's 100x than crypto's current $4 trillion market cap. And to remind you, Bitcoin is almost 60% of the market cap. And now we are talking about bringing other assets that are not so volatile, for example, T-bills and so on, into the on-chain environment. But the current institutional adoption wave represents years of infrastructure development, culminating right now in production scale deployments, including bridges, oracles, and other aspects. So here I would like to give a big thanks to Franklin Templeton, BlackRock, Apollo, and all other heavy hitters, S&P, Moody's, that have been building in that space throughout the years that were not easy, right? Right now we can harness like the goodies of that technology because they've been thriving over there. With RedStone, we created the first in the history leverage on tokenized private credit with SICRED from Apollo. Apollo is a behemoth with $750 billion asset under management. And together with Securitize and Gauntlet, we introduced first-in-a-kind like leverage on such a product. In TradFi, it's just not possible. It's a new primitive to get such a leverage. And in order in TradFi to get exposure to private credit, you need to have millions of dollars. And with ACRED, it's only $50,000. It's still not super small, but we are getting there, like bit by bit, step by step. How it works is you deposit ACRED. Okay, you use USDC to mint ACRED. Then you deposit as ACRED, which is like a wrapped version, into as a collateral on Morpho, on Polygon, for example, or Camino or Solana. Then you borrow USDC against, ACRED yields 9%. The borrow rate is roughly 4 to 5%. So you have 4% arbitrage. And then you put, again, the borrowed USDC into ACRED and you loop it. So it's the same as you would do with Etina or any other product. And it allows to get like leverage exposure to this private credit product. And with tokenization, this is what's going to happen a lot in DeFi at large. And oracles are the watchdogs of the price to ensure the whole system is accurately priced. And if anyone is to be liquidated, it happens instantly. And diversity of RWAs will only grow. RedStone is the best-in-class data oracle for both on-chain and off-chain data. This year, Forbes Poland chose us as the #1 startup in the region, not crypto startup, like in overall category. We are very hungry, and our motto is buy builders for builders, but this year we've extended it to buy builders for institutions, because right now we work with banks and the largest financial institutions globally. This is a news that came out 4 weeks ago. If someone missed, we acquired Credora Network. And the reason for that, I'm not going to go in detail into that slide, but you can take a picture of that because this is very important. This is the evolution of stablecoins and other tokenized assets throughout the past years. We started simple, USDC, USDT, DAI, then Etina. Right now we have over 200 stablecoins, and we are just going to see more, right? USD1 with, World Liberty Financial is also like getting really hot here in Singapore. And there are other types of tokenized products being actively introduced into DeFi. But with high APY, high returns, high power comes high responsibility. Some of those products are going to be higher risk as well. Therefore, you need something that is very present in TradFi, which is rating. So you rate the risk associated with the asset. You look at the network risk, counterparty risk, smart contract risk, many assumptions over there. You put it into a model, and in TradFi, S&P, Moody's, and Fitch are the three agencies that develop this traditional ratings scale that is very heavy, and it's needed in TradFi. We believe right now in DeFi you need something that is simpler. MakerDAO, so Sky currently scored B- by S&P, which is fairly harsh, I would say, assessment, but very needed to showcase where are the, let's say, weaker points of the whole system. We want to distinguish the very bad assets from the ones that are investable and should be used by the general public. So we are bridging the gap between institutional investors and crypto natives. And it's not just words. Credora by RedStone is already live on Morpho. We rated $4 billion in TVL already, and we're expanding with new risk operators and assets. And we keep on cooking, so you can soon see us also on Euler and other lending markets that are modular. And then in the future also like Compound, Aave, lending and vaults at large. All right, I've been talking, but let's back, if the clicker allows me. What can beat that pigeon I was talking about in the very beginning? So it can be beaten by, for example, the fastest blockchain oracle that we also created, RedStone Bolt. It's live on Mega ETH testnet and coming to mainnet in a couple of weeks and months. And here, for you to understand, we update price feeds every 2.4 milliseconds, which is over 400 times a second. So as I've been doing this pitch, we've updated like hundreds of thousands of times on chain already. So it's even hard to like understand the speed that's available over there. But if you've seen a movie, oh no, there's only book, Flash Boys, this is what we are talking about, like, front running the traders, and the one who is the quickest, it doesn't matter by how much, but is the quickest wins because he's got an edge. Thank you very much. I hope you're going to enjoy the event, and yes, see you around. Cheers.